Or frozen your video.
Now it should not be. Now it should not be freezing. Okay, so what we will do is, let me see the statistics, how it is going, who has done how much. Maybe we'll start with,
I've done more than what I'm supposed to do.
who is that? Anup or Anj?
Anoop.
Okay, let me go to Anup. Anup. What happened? Why is not there? Here.
Yeah, this screen happened a lot when I was doing the puzzles.
Okay, let me check Ansh. Oops, I think their site is under maintenance or something like that right now. So maybe we'll skip this then. Okay, fine. So I wanted to cover three things. I just wanted to look at how all of you are doing with your respect to your puzzles on the course, which is chess tactics for beginners. And if there are any difficulties or anything, then I wanted to check that. Second thing is that I wanted to show you, there is a blog that I have written today about how to use the chess insights from Lichess. Okay, I wanted to very quickly take you through. Much more details are there in the blog, but very quickly I will show you what it is. Okay, so you can see the screen.
Yeah, now it's much better.
Right, you can see the screen. See, when you go to your profile, right, and it will show you this, how is your rating has moved over the period, etc. And there at the right side, can you see this chess insights? So this is what you have to click on, chess insights. Okay, now what it will use is, it will use all the games of yours which are analyzed. Means if you have analyzed those using computer analysis, right, then that will always be stored on the Lichess servers, and those games and the data from that analysis, it will use it, okay, for statistics. Okay, and there are a lot of details you can go down into, like you can choose what parameters. Here a lot of parameters are there. For example, we are starting with average centipawn loss, and you are mapping it by variant. By variant means you can play blitz, you can play bullet, you can play ultra bullet, you can play rapid, classical, etc. And then those crazy house, 960, etc., all those things. So each thing is considered as a variant. Okay, and see, in my games it shows me that Blizz, I have not played too many games of Blizz, but it shows that in Blizz my average centipawn loss is 57.58. Okay, I hope you guys know what is centipawn loss, because you must be doing the analysis, right? What is a centipawn?
100th of a pawn.
Yeah, 1 centipawn is 100th of a pawn. Nandan, there is no such thing as membership of Lichess. When you log in, you are already a member. There is nothing. There is no paid membership. Okay, it is only if you want, you can always give donation.
You could pay, sir.
You could pay.
You could pay.
But it is not.
It's optional.
It is for donation. Okay, the payment is not for payment is for donation. Okay, to just keep, because it is a free server. So maybe some Thibault is only one developer, I think, or maybe he has got 2 helpers. Those are the only 2 or 3 people who are maintaining that entire site. So that is the thing. There is, otherwise you don't have to pay anything. All of this is available completely free. Okay, so yeah, so what I was saying is, what is the first default insight that it shows? It shows how across all your games that it has analyzed. So I might have played 30 Blizz games and maybe 300 rapid games, or out of that 192 are analyzed, it is telling me. Others I have not analyzed. So using those data of the 192 games, it is plotting this thing. Okay, and what it is saying is, in Blizz I tend to have a worse record, which is expected, I think, because Blizz is a shorter time period, and rapid is small. Rapid you get more time, so you get thing. Okay, but if it is reverse, then it is a problem. Okay, so but you can see this based on your games. What is your average centipawn loss in Blizz, bullet versus rapid? You'll be able to see it. Okay, and it is just one of the insight. Okay, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be there. Then on the left side, there are some preset insights. Okay, so you can, for example, the first one, if you click it, what it is saying is, do I gain more rating points against weaker players or stronger players? Right? See, there is a certain expectancy score So if you win against a weaker player, you get maybe a 1 point or 2 point only you get it, okay, in the ratings. But if you win against a stronger player, you get much more. Now over your games, you will be also whenever you lose, you will be also having negative points. But it is for one game. But when you average it across all games, right, what happens? And so this is the other insight that it is showing, that if I am playing against much weaker players, actually I am losing rating points against them, because I also make some mistakes and I'm minus 1.73. But weaker players than me, I'm on an average, I'm getting 5.19 rating points. And there are 21 games I have played who are weaker than me, 135 games who are much weaker. Similar to my strength, I have played 16 games and I'm getting a 8.69 rating gain. Okay, on average, I'm getting every game that I play. And then one game I have played with a much stronger opponent and I won that. So I got a rating gain of 48. But you cannot generalize it because it is too less data. Okay, but like this, you will be able to see it. What it shows is, if you are getting a good rating gain against equal, similar or stronger players, that means your strength is actually much more and you are on the up path. So your rating is probably slightly underrated, showing you underrated, but actually your is higher. And that is what. But if it starts showing that actually a lot of your rating gain is actually against weaker players or much weaker players, then it will show that you have already plateaued, and then you have to make further improve. You have to find further ways to improve. Okay, because generally it will be always be the thing that you will always be winning more rating points against stronger opposition. Okay, it should be strong.
Sir,
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
when
I am losing your voice. Are others are able to it, or you can type it? Please type the question.
No, sir. Neither could I hear.
Okay, can you hear me?
Type your question, I think.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I play much weaker, it's minus 0.24. When I play weaker, it's minus 1.38.
Okay.
Similar is minus 0.52. Stronger is 1.64 and much stronger is 0.98.
Okay, so that means it is almost in the same range everywhere, right? Then that means you are playing at your strength against everybody. You play at your strength, it looks like. Okay, so that is what it looks like. So it immediately does not show you any particular thing, but so there are a lot of different insights. So some of them will give you an action plan. Some of them will not. They will just be like, it will be just an observation. Okay, so like in your case, this is not giving you any observation. So in your case, it is okay. All right. Then there are other. So just go through this so you will get an idea how quickly do I move each piece. Okay, in bullet and blitz games. So this is only about bullet and blitz games. Okay. This shows you how much is your intrinsic grasp, in the sense that quickly reflex action, or not exactly. I mean, doesn't mean. So right now this move is not taking care of whether you are making good moves or bad moves. But in general, averaging across, it will be an equal combination, and you will see how much time you are spending to move. So in which case, I do find that I'm spending more time to move queen or bishop, okay, compared to say a pawn or a rook or a king. So which means that there is something. I mean, I tend to not analyze the bishop or queen moves very quickly. I take some more time to think about it. Okay, so like this, it is just an insight, but when combined with another one, I have combined it with this last insight. How well do I move each piece in the opening? Okay, because each piece average centipawn loss, okay, it is calculated when you make in the opening phase, means the first 15 moves. Okay, so pawn moves, I am making 30.97, knight is 31, bishop is 60. Okay, and queen is 58, rook is only 10. Okay, which means that, see, generally everybody will have in the opening phase, it is difficult to make wrong rook moves. So, sorry?
The only time that you move the only time that you move the rook in the opening is when you castle, so you can't really expect it to.
That is what I was saying.
Or rook e1.
Yeah, rook e1, rook d1, etc. So everybody will have in the opening, you will never have much of a centipawn loss with rook move. So that is expected. But concern for me,
My rook, it's
how much?
for my rook, it's 45.
Oh, then I think
Oh, wow.
then in the opening phase, in this,
In the yeah,
yeah, then I think there is a
and my queen is 138.06.
then that's what I think. So again, it is all relatively, you have to see it relatively. For me, queen and bishop are problem areas, so I need to work on my queen and bishop moves even in the opening. Okay, but you don't look at absolute values, look at it in comparison to your own values for others, pawns, knights, bishop, rook, queen and king. So there you find then relatively which one are the higher loss. Those are the ones where you are tending to make more mistakes with those pieces, right? So again, it is a sort of insight like this. So like this, what I wanted to mean is there are hundreds of such insights that are possible. Okay, I have started writing a blog on this. So first one, I have covered all these left side, whatever are the presets, I have covered that mostly, and then I went into more technical details. I've sent the links. I'm going to continue it next week with some more things which I am doing it for my own game, right? But this is a wonderful tool to to especially if you have analyzed like more than 500 games, etc., right? How many Ansh, Anup, Madhura, I guess your analyzed games will be more than, hopefully more than 400, 500, right?
So my
Yeah.
insights are shared over 3,116 games.
Analyzed games.
No, not yeah,
No,
3,916 rated games.
yeah, no, left
But I
side.
need to make it
Ah,
random.
yeah, correct. Rated games. So fine. So that is yeah. So I think that's very good data. So I think
I have 1,000 rated games.
okay. Again, that is very good. Anything more than 500 is very good. Okay. Fine. So this is one tool to play around with it. You will understand it. It is slightly too much of a complications are there, but once you keep looking at it, then you will understand what it means. And it also gives some definitions. I have also I have given brief definitions in my blog also, but here also you get these definitions of what each thing moves. Okay, but there are lot and lots of analytics you can do it. Okay, especially if you have a lot more games. Okay, so you can filter it. So you can also apply, for example, yeah.
How to like get to this page,
Oh,
the insights?
yeah.
Go to your profile and
Go
then
to your profile,
like
and then on the right side here, middle, you will see this chess insight.
Oh, okay.
So then,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, cool. And not only this, there are a lot more filtering is possible. See, this default insight is giving me average centipawn loss on by chess variant, which means that I don't play bullet. So only rapid and blitz it is showing me. If you play bullet, it will also show you bullet or ultra bullet also. Okay, but I can also filter it. See, for example, if I say filter it based on white, then it will show me what is my centipawn loss when I'm playing white. Okay, so now I see that when with white I am having blitz, I am having much more centipawn loss, but rapid I am having less centipawn loss. Okay, and then I can also do it for black and then see what is the thing, right? Black, it is almost similar, right? But like this, you can also filter out. You can filter out by date range. You can just analyze the games in the last 24 hours, last 7 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is, right? Or you can put only for white, only for black, or whatever it is. So there are a lot more things are possible. That's why I'm saying totally there are some maybe 300, 400 insights will be there, but it doesn't mean that you have to do everything. So you just do some you can do some preset analysis first. Okay, maybe try to filter it based on some color or this one, etc., and then try to find out. But this is a wonderful tool. Okay, uh, to get to zero in on what are the areas, because now see, you are at a stage, you are at a L4 and you play most of the openings, you know how to play basic things, right? Basic tactics, now now it is time to find out where relatively you are weaker and where you need to focus on more, etc. Everyone will have a slightly different areas to focus on. Like I have my own areas that I've identified. like your areas will be slightly different, and each one will be slightly different. So there you can do more focus, right? So this will help you identify those areas yourself. Okay. All right. Uday, actually for you, I don't know. I think you will have to, you should do that analysis yourself, and you can check, because I will have to spend half an hour with you to do that analysis. But best is you do it yourself and see what is the thing, right? But you will be able to find out if you go through this, right? Another great thing is that to look at is this: how often do I punish blunders? Okay, and then there is a luck factor. This is opportunism. Opportunism means you take it. You take opportunity. The other factor is luck, means how lucky you are. Means your opponent is not pouncing on your blunders, then that is luck for you, right? But both things are important. So if you see this, I am on an average exploiting 85% of the blunders, which is good, but maybe for my level I should be doing it at 90-95%. Okay, so that is where I should be doing. Okay, but I am doing it in opening, middle game, end game. Everywhere I have a roughly 85-86% hit rate against blunders, right? You can check your hit rate against blunders and see what it is. It should be roughly at least 75-80% or is a good starting point for doing that. Oh, 75. I think 75 is a good starting point, Nandar. You should be aiming to go to 80 or 85. Okay, I will try to.
For
Yeah.
me, opening is 70.
Oh, then I think it is slightly less. 70 is slightly less.
And middle game is 57.
Ah, it is even lesser. So that means you are letting go a lot of blunders that your opponents make. Okay, where if you remember the class where we had studied how to take blunders, there was a type 1 where you miss opponent's threats, okay, so that you don't respond. Then there is type 2, which is you don't take advantage of the opportunity that is there. So in your case, I think it is type 2. You are making more of type 2 blunders because you are not exploiting the opportunities. Okay, I am missing.
So for in Blitz,
Yeah, go ahead.
in Blitz I have 85% opportunism,
Okay, so that is good. 85 is very good. Okay, 85 is very good.
but 50% in rapid.
That is less. That is less, right? So like this, you can do analysis. Okay, so this is one thing that I wanted to show. Any questions? Further questions on this? I mean, you have to do this yourself. Huh? I mean, that's why the tool is available for everybody. It is accessible to you. Best is that you should do it yourself. Yeah, this is wonderful. Yeah, absolutely.
Somehow my ultra bullet is like 80.
80. Okay, but ultra bullet, why? I don't play too much of ultra bullet or even bullet. I suggest that you just give some time, like maybe every week you will play 1 hour of bullet or ultra bullet. That's enough, and don't go more than that. Don't put a quota
Yeah,
because
the thing is, bullet and ultra bullet are addicting.
yeah, exactly. That's why then you will keep
So
playing
when you
that.
play one and your opponent offers a rematch, it's hard not to say no. It's hard not to say yes.
Yeah, that's why I think
It's hard not to say.
yeah, it is. That's why. But in fact, I will be very happy even if you don't play any bullet at all. Okay, you should play bullet when you are in level 6 or level 7. That is when you should play. If you want to play now, okay, play it, but don't play more than 30 minutes in a day and not more than 1 hour in a week. Okay, and play slower. Yeah, once or twice a month is okay, but don't go overboard with bullet because it is very addictive, and you don't beyond you will make only there is a certain that I mean I'm not saying that don't play at all, but one hour a week is more than enough because you would have played some 15 games in that, 20 games in that, so that is more than enough. Okay, fine.
I forgot how you access the insights page.
Profile, go to profile, go to your
Okay.
right side, go to profile, right? Profile, and then just below the rating you will see this chess insights, right side. Can you see it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions on this? If not, then I wanted to also tell you about these 4 books which are very good. Yesterday I told it in the L3 class. Okay, let me go to Amazon.in. There is a publication called Gambit Chess. Okay, Gambit Chess is they put a lot of books, but I recently came across their books called there is a series for chess for kids. Okay. Oh yo, what is this? The all books. Yeah, 50 chess and games for kids. Why it is not showing me? Why it is not showing me? Maybe Amazon.com. Yo, what is this? Here also it is not showing, huh? How come yesterday only I showed it, right? Anup, you are there in L3 class, right?
Yeah, you showed it.
50 Endgames for Kids by Mueller, Karsten Mueller. Yeah, I will just. Chess and games for kids. This. Yeah, chess and games for kids. Okay. So this is the series. Okay, you will see all the covers below it also. See, chess opening traps. This I have not seen it, but chess openings for kids is good. How to beat your dad at chess. This is also a good book. So this is having all the various mating patterns. We have studied those mating patterns of Vukovic, right? But this has got more details of those in 50 lessons. 50 lessons, since the layout is, I really like it. It is a very, very short and sweet layout. Okay. One topic, it will have either 2 pages or 4 pages. Okay. Not more than that, but it will cover all the key things about it. So there are 50 topics it will cover. Okay. So that roughly you can say there are 52 weeks, assuming 2 weeks in holiday. So you can make a plan that every week you will do one chapter you will study. Then you will be able to finish the book in 1 year, and it will take you a significant level higher. Okay. So there are 4 books that are very good. I found one is 50 endgames for kids. This is on endgame. Then there was chess openings for kids. This again shows you 50 openings explained in brief. That much is enough at a level 4 or even level 5. Okay, it is enough to know that much. That much it is telling you. Okay, to know. Again, very, very short and sweet. So this is in the opening. There are 2 books in the middle game phase. Someone was asking, right? Nandan was asking, right? So there are 2 books for middle game. One is How to Beat Your Dad at Chess. This has got the what do you call? This has got the traps, and then there is Chess Strategy for Kids. Yeah, this is again a good book. Chess Strategy for Kids. Again, this is giving you positional middle game positional ideas. 50 chapters, each with 2 or 4 pages. So again, all of them follow the same format, and they're from the same publication. So Chess Strategy for Kids, How to Beat Your Dad at Chess, that is for middle game. Opening, there is chess opening for kids. There is also chess openings for traps for kids. I have not looked at this book yet. But you can check it out.
Can you share the links
Yeah,
on WhatsApp?
I will send the links. I will send the links. Okay, on WhatsApp. And chess endgame for kids. So opening, there are 2 books. Middle game, there are 2 books, and endgame, there is 1 book. Okay. Now these books, 5 books. Okay, they are covering all aspects of the game. And like, if you do it, because if you just decide to do it everything, you will not be able to complete 1 chapter of each of it in every week. So maybe you will have to do 2 book. You will have to take, maybe every month you can finish all the 5 chapters. Okay, across all the books. Okay, then you can do that. Then it will take you 50 months, means that 4 years. Or maybe you can do 2 chapters every month. I mean, from every book every month. So 10 chapters total. That is a realistic goal. And then you will be able to finish it in 25 months, means 2 years, right? No, it is like a class. Okay, it is like a class, but it is like chapter by chapter. Okay, and then there are some tests also. So this is,
Are
see,
we going?
as you go higher and higher, you will have to do a lot more study. If you are aiming to become a master, you will have to do a lot more study, because just in the one weekly class will not be able to cover that much. So I'm just giving you some extra tips and this one, so that if you are aiming to go to level 5, level 6, etc., then these are important. If your aim is to go up to level 3 or level 4 and stop, then no need to buy this. Then there is one more book that I'm suggesting. If you want to buy just up to level 4, then there is this 64 things to know about chess. This is a single book, okay, which covers, in one book it is 64 lessons, but that covers opening, middle game and end game. All 3 of them are covered, but in one book. So that means it will not be covering as much as the other 5 books. But if this is a good book for anybody who is going to play up to level 3 and level 4, okay, that much if you study, you can be very good at a very good level 4 player also with this. Okay, but
So
if
I had a book which was written by Susan Polgar.
yeah, which one? But again, those see what is the book, because it will depend. See, what I'm trying to give you is something that covers all the 3 phases of the game. Okay, so depends. There are hundreds, there are actually thousands of chess books. Okay, so you will have to see. But this is something that I have personally reviewed it, so I find it to be good. So this is just to let you know. If you want to buy it, then these are good books to buy. Okay.
Are we going over the anapos, the analyzed positions?
Which one? Sorry.
Are we going over the analyzed positions today?
We will not go through it today. We'll go it next week only. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the books. I will send the links also. Okay. There is one more thing. I don't know how many of you are checking this Chessable. Are any of you are members of Chessable? Chessable.com.
I've heard of it in
No,
many
sir.
apps.
Okay.
I'm not a member.
Okay, so again, you can. This has got a wonderful way of teaching. Okay, it is called as Move Trainer. This Chessable has been acquired by Magnus Carlsen Group. Okay, so Magnus Carlsen owns this, apart from chess24.com and some other things also. But they have got a good technology. I will tell you, good technology in the sense it is like drill down. It asks you to repeat the things 3 times. Okay, and then you have to again repeat it every next day, and then in next week, like that. Okay, so okay, Sai Pranam is doing some analysis. Okay. Oh, Sai, you don't know what is Alekhine defense. That's okay. E4 NF6, that is Alekhine's defense. Okay, you play E4 and NF6, and you invite white to advance the pawn to E5, and then you attack it later on. So that is Alekhine's defense. But don't worry. So what I was telling is, this Chessable has got an interesting thing. So do check out. You can log in for free. Okay, they have various plans. You can go. I have not gone pro. You can go pro. I don't suggest to go pro. Just go for the free login that is available. And they have, what their concept is, there are a lot of courses. Okay, there are a lot of courses. Okay, but there are also many free courses. Okay, so I suggest that you right now you just check out the free courses. Okay, and there is a concept of slots. So like you have to take you have to add a course to a slot. So in the free category you have 5 slots. So at a time you can be looking at 5 5 courses you can be looking at, and that itself is enough, right? I mean, at a time. And you can always, once you finish it, you can take it out of the slot and add another one. But what I want to tell you is that there is an excellent end game course. Okay, so I am going to filter game aspect is end game, and still price is free. Okay, so which means that you don't have to pay anything. Absolutely, you'll get it. So there is this course called, see this course, it is by Theory Hack. It is completely available. It is very highly rated. So if you want to study the end game, right, even before you buy the book, which is that 50 end game for kids, or you get that other one, which is that Pandolfini's end game course. Before that, you go to Chessable, register yourself, go add this free course to your slot. Okay, and it is going to tell you all the basic end games, and it will drill you. It will make you drill, so you will understand what it is. I don't have to tell you what it is. So you go through this and then play through this. Okay, so play through this, and this itself will take you almost everything that I teach in the level 4, and possibly level 5 end games will also be covered here. Okay, so this will be like an extra benefit for you, and it is completely free. Just go ahead and do it, use it. Then you will also get hooked onto it. Try some free courses on Chessable. You will understand how it works, how the system works, and then there are a lot more. It is up to you. Okay, but I'm just giving you all these things so that you can continue on your journey of improvement. All right. Okay, I'm stopping.